Diďre, haYamim Bête, chapter 29. Chizkiyahu began to reign when he was 25 years old, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Aviyah, the daughter of Zechariah. And he did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh, according to all that his father David did. In the first year of his reign, in the first new moon, he opened the doors of the house of Yahweh and repaired them, and brought in the priests and the Levites, and gathered them in the open place to the east. And he said to them, Listen to me, O Levites, now set yourselves apart, set apart the house of Yahweh, Elohim of your fathers, and remove the uncleanness from the set-apart place. For our fathers have trespassed and have done evil in the eyes of Yahweh our Elohim, and have forsaken him, and have turned their faces away from the dwelling place of Yahweh, and have given their backs. And they have shut the doors of the porch, and put out the lamps, and they have not burned incense or offered ascending offerings in the set-apart place to the Elohim of Israel. Therefore the wrath of Yahweh fell upon Yehudah and Jerusalem, and he has given them up for a trembling, for an astonishment, and for a hissing, as you see with your eyes. And see, because of this our fathers have fallen by the sword, and our sons and our daughters and our wives are in captivity for this. Now it is in my heart to make a covenant with Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, so that the heat of his wrath turns away from us. My sons, do not be slack, for Yahweh has chosen you to stand before him, to serve him, and to be attendants for him, and burn incense. And the Levites rose up, Machath son of Amasai, and Yoel son of Azariahu, of the sons of the Kehathites, and of the sons of Merari, Kish son of Avdi, and Azariahu son of Yahalelel, and of the Gereshonites, Joach son of Zimah, and Eden son of Joach, and of the sons of Elitzaphan, Shimri, and Yeiel, and of the sons of Asaph, Zechariahu and Matanyahu, and of the sons of Heman, Yehiel and Shim'i, and of the sons of Yeduthun, Shemaiah and Uzziel. And they gathered their brothers, and set themselves apart, and went according to the command of the sovereign, at the words of Yahweh, to cleanse the house of Yahweh. And the priests came into the inner part of the house of Yahweh to cleanse it, and brought out all the uncleanness they found in the hechal of Yahweh, to the courtyard of the house of Yahweh. Then the Levites received it to take it outside to the Wadi Kidron. And they began to set apart on the first day of the first new moon, and on the 8th day of the new moon they came to the porch of Yahweh, and they set apart the house of Yahweh in 8 days, and on the 16th day of the first new moon they had finished. Then they came in to sovereign Chizkiyahu, and said, We have cleansed all the house of Yahweh, and the slaughter place of ascending offerings with all its utensils, and the table of the showbread with all its utensils, and all the utensils which sovereign Achaz in his reign had pushed aside when he trespassed, we have prepared and set apart. And see, they are before the slaughter place of Yahweh. And sovereign Chizkiyahu rose up early, and gathered the heads of the city, and went up to the house of Yahweh. And they brought 7 bulls, and 7 rams, and 7 lambs, and 7 male goats for a sin offering for the rain, for the set-apart place, and for Yehudah. And he said to the priests, the sons of Aharon, to offer them on the slaughter place of Yahweh. So they slew the bulls, and the priests received the blood and sprinkled it on the slaughter place. And they slew the rams and sprinkled the blood on the slaughter place. And they slew the lambs and sprinkled the blood on the slaughter place. And they brought out the male goats of the sin offering before the sovereign and the assembly, and they lay their hands on them. And the priests slew them, and with their blood made a sin offering on the slaughter place, to make an atonement for all Israel. For the sovereign said that the ascending offering and the sin offering is for all Israel. And he appointed the Levites in the house of Yahweh with cymbals, with harps, and with lyres, according to the command of David, and of Gad, seer of the sovereign, and of Nathan the prophet, for the command was by the hand of Yahweh, by the hand of his prophets. And the Levites stood with the instruments of David, and the priests with the trumpets. And Chizkiyahu gave the order to offer the ascending offering on the slaughter place. And when the ascending offering began, the singing unto Yahweh began, with trumpets and with the instruments of David, sovereign of Israel. And all the assembly were bowing, and the singers singing, and the trumpeters blowing, all this until the ascending offering was completed. And at the completion of the offering, the sovereign and all who were present with him bowed and worshipped. And sovereign Chizkiyahu and the rulers ordered the Levites to sing praise to Yahweh with the words of David and of Asaph the seer. And they sang praises with gladness, and they bowed their heads and worshipped. And Chizkiyahu responded and said, Now that you have ordained yourselves to Yahweh, come near and bring slaughterings and thank offerings into the house of Yahweh. And the assembly brought in slaughterings and thank offerings, and all those whose hearts were so moved brought ascending offerings. And the number of the ascending offerings which the assembly brought was 70 bulls, 100 rams, 200 lambs, all these for an ascending offering to Yahweh. And the set-apart gifts were 600 bulls and 3,000 sheep. Only the priests were too few, and were unable to skin all the ascending offerings, so their brothers the Levites helped them until the work was completed, and until the other priests had set themselves apart. For the Levites were more upright of heart to set themselves apart than the priests. And there were also many ascending offerings, with the fat of the peace offerings, and with the drink offerings for every ascending offering. Thus the service of the house of Yahweh was re-established. And Chizkiyahu and all the people rejoiced that Elohim had prepared the people, because the matter came about so suddenly.